the number one greenhouse gas, which people don't know, the number one greenhouse gas on Earth is water vapor. So water vapor, actual clouds, will trap heat and make a greenhouse effect. Carbon is only 0.04% of the atmosphere.
Right.
And if it went up tenfold, like I said, it would be good. It would be a boon for, it'd be good for agriculture, and plants would thrive.
It would grow food.
And if
Right.
And if they decreased it and cut it in half from like 0.04% to 0.02%, it might kill all life on Earth. So this whole demonization of the sun, right? This whole demonization of the sun, this whole demonization of carbon, it's all anti-life, anti-human, and by blocking the sun, if they actually are able to get away with this crackpot idea, it might actually throw us into an ice age and be detrimental. So let's consider that as policymakers, make these decisions for us and push us into this new world order paradigm.
Yeah, I love that.
So, all right. So, man, we talked about Mother Nature before the break, and is it pushing back? Is it irrelevant? One of the things that you point out in the film that was shocking was and we've talked about this in the news for quite a while now, and now it's starting to make sense, is what's happening to the bee population. What's happening to bees? You talked about in the film what they found in the brains of bees, and as terrifying, and I want you to talk about that, as terrifying as that is, then the rest of the story is what Monsanto is up to with bees. Explain that. Just shocking stuff, man.
So that's a great question, and thank you for bringing that up. It's also happening to the humans, so I'll go over all of it. Now, the number one cause of death in the United Kingdom, number one cause of death is dementia, dementia and Alzheimer's from aluminum toxicity in the brain. So a lot of people don't know that fluoride is just a byproduct of melting aluminum. So fluoride and aluminum want to bond back together. So when you have fluoride in your water or your toothpaste or your Bud Light or whatever, which is important to take your health into your own hands nowadays because there's these attacks from every angle. But at the end of the day, you should consider it complementary because why is everything out to get us? Because they are terrified of us realizing what's going on. So they want to dumb us down to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
So fluoride can bypass the blood-brain barrier. It pulls the aluminum, and it pulls the aluminum past the blood-brain barrier, and then you end up with these two things having chemical reactions in your brain. Also, cholesterol is good for you. So this whole cholesterol demonization is insanity. People are on statins and what have you for high blood pressure, which I highly recommend getting off of these things because cholesterol is this fatty layer of protection to protect your brain. So the same thing that's happening to the humans, which is the aluminum buildup in the brain. And imagine you get aluminum buildup in the brain and then they are ramping up these EMF frequencies through NextRad, HAARP, 5G, and what have you. It's just like putting aluminum in the microwave, but it's in your brain. I mean, this is why people are having neurological disorders and what have you. So the same things are happening to the bees. There's this bee die-off, and biologists and whatnot are dissecting bees, and they have this increased aluminum in their brain. Also worth mentioning is EMF frequency makes it so the bees can't even find their way back to the hive. There's a documentary called Resonance where they put a wireless phone inside the hive, and the bees can't even come back because the frequencies mess up their navigation systems. So the bees are dying off from the aluminum, especially, right? And then Monsanto has come out with an aluminum-resistant gene. Worth mentioning is Monsanto had to hide their name, and they don't even exist anymore. They got bought up by Bayer. Complete conflict of interest that the company that's making you sick also gives you medicine to make you better and what have you. Yeah. But Bayer / Monsanto have an aluminum-resistant seed because they know that the world is going to become so aluminized once this is normalized, especially that only their crops will grow. They also have a Franken bee, like a Frankenstein bee.
Incredible.
Where the bee is Monsanto produced, and it can live in a glyphosate, aluminum, like toxic pesticide, herbicide-ridden environment where all the other insects are dying. So GMO is something really quick that it's like they like to confuse us. Oh, that's pretty advanced, genetically modified, whatever, and I'm not a scientist or whatever. But it's actually very simple. They're spraying poisons on your food that would make the food shrivel up and die. So they have to alter the genetic code a little bit so that that poison doesn't kill your food, and it kills everything else around it. So literally you're eating stuff, if you're getting this glyphosate in your system or whatever, different things like atrazine and whatnot, you're eating things that would make your food completely die immediately if they hadn't altered its genetics. That's what GMO is.
And then we wonder why so many people have dementia, Alzheimer's, so many kids have autism. I mean, we're looking at the wrong source. It's probably coming directly from our food.
Certainly isn't.
It's coming from our food.
And